have to cover Aerodrome Finance. As you can see, this thing is up 16% in the last 24 hours. We're up 49% in the last 7 days. So it's doing pretty well, still down 41% in the last year though. We're going to talk about where I think this is going to go. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. Let's get straight into it. So yeah, Aerodrome Finance pretty much at 50 cents right now, down 16% in the last 24 hours. $468 million in market cap, 78 million in trading volume. It's been going up recently, but that's just as of recently. But if you look at these charts here, it looks very, very interesting here for Aerodrome. So we've had a lot of different stuff going on with this, but now we're kind of back at the same area that we were all the way back in 2025. So we're back at that same region, which is that 49 cents, 50 cents region. We have just now went above our 200-day moving average, which is the white line here. And it looks like we're making our way up to this 50-day moving average, right? We might make our way up to the 50-day moving average, which is at this resistance line at about 60 cents. So I think we might see something like 60 to 70 cents soon here with Aerodrome Finance. So I would definitely say watch out for that. This is the weekly chart, by the way. So I think on the weekly, we do have the potential to do that. And if we have enough strength, might be able to push it all the way up here. But I don't think it's going all the way up to $1 anytime soon, especially not within this bear market right now. But what I do think is I think that a push to 60 cents could be possible if we get up to that 50-day moving average. So we'll see what happens right there. Again, this is the weekly chart for Aerodrome Finance. And we're also kind of seeing a little bit of divergence here, because if you look back over here, you can kind of see we're creating those lows. We kind of did like a double bottom right here. As you can see here, that was kind of like a double bottom scenario. Double bottoms are bearish patterns, so keep that in mind. Double bottoms are, they're bullish patterns. Keep that in mind. Double bottoms are bullish, so technically, we should have a nice breakout for Aerodrome Finance. But I would say going into the end of this year, because that's when the bull market should start up, because we're still in the bear market, right? We're still in the bear market. If you look at this right here, you can kind of spin this as bullish divergence, which is lower lows on the charts and higher lows on the MACD. So what that means here is if we start seeing this buying pressure speeding up, and then we eventually see that selling pressure coming in, and that's why I said I think Aerodrome can at least get up to 60, 70 cents, possibly even $1, but I will say 60 to 70 cents is because we should be getting some buying pressure coming in here. You can see how the selling pressure tried to pick up, but then this one green candlestick just pops right back in, and now it's going back up. So we're probably going to end up seeing more buying pressure bringing it up. But if this is indeed bullish divergence, then we should be hitting another lower low. If it is bullish divergence, right, you'll see that buying pressure, and then you'll end up seeing the selling pressure come in, and the selling pressure is going to be the next higher low, right? It'll be like right here. So these are different. These are just higher lows here on the MACD, and they create lower lows on the charts. These two weren't lower lows. They were just like the same price, but this one, there's no telling if that third one can be the lower low that we're waiting for. So you definitely want to keep that in mind as well for Aerodrome Finance. And also, this is the percent R trend exhaustion on the weekly chart. I always talk about when you have this white line, the short-term trend breaking past the long-term trend, the blue line, it's always going to pull back and bring that price right back down with it. So you want to be extremely, extremely, extremely careful. I've been kind of talking about this when it comes to the stock market, because I do a lot of trading in the stock market. So I was talking about how on the percent R trend exhaustion, you can look at what's happening in the stock market currently, and whenever that percent R trend exhaustion goes far past the long-term trend, whenever the short-term trend is going far past the long-term trend on the percent R trend exhaustion, you're getting a lot of dumping. So again, right here, especially this one right here looks exactly like what we have, and I'm about to show what we just now had in a second. I just want to show you what it's doing right here. I showed the same thing in my other videos. This is how bear flags are created, literally on the percent R trend exhaustion. This is how you create a bear flag, right? These are all bear flags. These are all bear flags / rising wedges, right? And this is how they're created on the percent R trend exhaustion. So that is just something that you should keep in mind. And as you can see, just time and time again, just these same bear flags, and they're all from the same signal. They're all from the same exact pattern, the same exact pattern on the percent R trend exhaustion, right? this pattern here where we see the white line, the short-term trend, going far past the long-term trend, which is the blue line. When that happens, that short-term trend has to come back. So if that is the case, then we'll eventually see that pullback happening, and we're probably going to end up seeing that happening soon for Bitcoin. So, or not Bitcoin, but Aerodrome Finance. We're probably going to see that happening soon, but we could see a breakout before that happens, right? We could see some good buying pressure before then. So I wouldn't be too upset yet, but just give it some time. Now, when we pull up the weekly chart here on Aerodrome, you can see the same exact pattern here. The short-term trend is, or the long-term trend is not following the short-term trend. So once this long-term trend starts to max out here on the percent R trend exhaustion, we're then going to get a huge, massive pullback. So we have a little bit more to go upwards, which is why I was talking about that. And again, like I said, 60 cents, possibly 70 cents. If we get it like a huge blessing in Aerodrome Finance, $1, right, all the way up there, but I don't think it's going to do that anytime soon. Again, I think it'll just do 60, 70 cents and have a pullback from there. So I would be extremely careful with that. But yeah, that was the weekly chart. This is the daily chart. On the daily chart, we just now broke past the 200-day and the 50-day moving average. On the daily chart, we're bullish, and that's why I said, wait for 60 cents. It's coming pretty soon. We're coming up here to the overbought range on the percent R trend exhaustion. We're just shooting straight up, so that's super bullish on Aerodrome Finance. But when it gets there, it could easily pull back, so be careful. Again, same thing with the pullback scenario. So again, we're also seeing over here, we were creating bullish divergence, which again is lower lows on the charts and higher lows on the MACD. When you look at the MACD here, these are all higher lows, and that whole time, I'm pretty sure it was creating lower lows on the chart. So yeah, the whole time it was creating lower lows on the chart for Aerodrome Finance. And we're actually looking like we're creating the same thing all over again. It looks like we're going through that same type of divergence, possibly, not 100% sure, but possibly we could see some type of bullish divergence and might see another lower low after we make our new highs. We might create new lows after that. So, but I'll be honest, these lows at 25 cents or at 28 cents, very, very strong. We hit 28 cents the 5th of June. It did nothing to us. 28 cents February 11th and the 12th did nothing. 28 cents April of 2025 did nothing. So whenever it hits 28 cents, it's slowly but surely getting to that point where it has to be like, all right, are we going to break out now, or are we just going to dump from here? So we're getting to that point where it has to make its decision right now. And on the 4-hour chart, you see here it is maxed out overbought on the percent R trend exhaustion. So again, pullback could be coming soon. But yeah, this is all I got for you guys today. Definitely hit the like button, subscribe. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. Check out the link in the description for Avantify if you want to do DeFi trading on the base platform. So go ahead and check out that. You can do some DeFi perps trading, and you can trade SpaceX on there up to 10x leverage. So go ahead and check that out. Link in the description. And as always, I'll be back with another video.